Hello everyone, this is Leon. So this has happened to me once or twice. You hop on the server, you want to play as an atmospherics technician, want to play around with atmospherics, you get on, you're ready to have some fun, you take a look at the crew manifest and you go, ah shit, there's no other engineers on here, power's not going to be set up, what the fuck am I going to do? So, I've got an answer for you. As an atmospherics technician, you actually have one way that you can set up some power. Few people don't know about this, but I'm going to teach you how it works. So there's a turbine engine we can set up in atmospherics, which basically uses plasma and oxygen. It burns the plasma and oxygen, that creates heat, which also creates pressure, which turns a turbine and generates electricity. If we set this up well, we can generate, I think it's around 50,000 watts of electricity. Or is it watts? I don't even know whatever power measurement there is in this. So let's get started. We're going to start over here at plasma. You'll notice when we click on this, at least in this version that I'm running, this thing will constantly get deselected. Workaround for that, close this menu when you're doing this. Set this to max, which is 5066.25, and turn it on. Whoops, we gotta change this to 4500 kPa. You'll notice I haven't turned this valve yet. This is the last thing we want to do. Don't set this to 4500 either. Set this, let's do 3250 this time. I've been messing with the values a little bit. Generally what you're looking for is around about a 20% plasma to 80% oxygen. The more oxygen you have, the hotter it'll burn. But you have to have some plasma in there for it to start. So over here we're going to do the same thing. This one isn't buggy, however. So we could just type that in. See it changes. And we're going to flip this. We want this one though maxed out to 4500. So turn this on. Immediately run up here and flip this thing on. And now we should have a good mix coming up through these pipes. So come into this room. This pipe here, this is pure to mix. We want this one maxed out as well and on. And then we want to flip this valve. We did everything right. We should have around 20%. It can be plus or minus. It's not a big deal. Looks like we're looking at about 25%, which is fine. 25% is not a big deal at all. The numbers there, they're very variable. Anywhere between 30 to, let's see. Oh, it's going down just a tad. It should be perfect then. So as I was saying, a mix that's between 3070 and 1585, those mixes work pretty well with this. Anything above that and you're not going to get a very hot burn if you have too much plasma. Anything below that and it's not going to burn. I found that 2080 is about perfect, but 2575 that'll be fine. So anyway, we want to wait until this builds up a little bit of pressure here. Generally, we want to get it to somewhere around 100 kPa. You can kind of speed this up if you turn off this mix to filter. It's going to just basically pump everything straight into here. I think. Pretty sure that's how that works. You know, it's trial by error on my end too, guys. Yes, that's filling up quite a bit faster now. Okay, that's 100 kPa. So now it's going to output out from this. It goes through this pipe here. And then once we get to here, this is off, so it's only going to go up. And this is where we want it to go, because this goes to the gas turbine. So power on, 4500. And we should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one back on so this doesn't get like a bunch of back pressure. And let's go set up the gas turbine. So now this is all set up. We come out through here into atmospherics, come through here into maintenance. It's pretty dark in here. I don't have a flashlight though, so we're just going to kind of feel our way around. And come down to here, and this is where the gas turbine is housed. These walls have a special coating on them, as does the floor, to where no matter how hot this gets, it will not destroy it. Before we do anything, however, we want to hit this green thing here, and we want to do cycle to interior, because we need to set the settings on these, or specifically this one. Set this to 4500 kPa, so we're pumping in a ton of stuff, and don't turn it off, you need that on. And then we're going to close that, lock interior. Now we're going to begin pumping in. So go to the gas pump here, turn it on, 4500. Go to this gas pump, turn it on, 4500. They have these set up for you. You can pump in extra oxygen, or if you just need, like, you really got to get this going, that's what these are for. Otherwise, they're not much use. So down here we see this is going. If we hit this switch here, that's the ignition switch, and it starts to burn. Now let's turn on the gas turbine. So we come over here, turn this to on, and it'll start generating some electricity in a second. Yep, so it's making 13,000 watts. We need this to vent, so turn on the turbine vent as we start to get this starting to power up. You'll notice this starts burning hotter and hotter and hotter as time progresses. You can see it here, actually. Right now it's 4,500 Kelvin, and as we refresh this, it's now 7,000 Kelvin, 9,000 Kelvin, and you see we're generating about 57,000 watts of energy, which isn't quite enough to do the whole station, but it's quite a bit at the same time. The auxiliary vent, I'm not sure exactly if you want that on or off. I've only done this a handful of times, I'll be honest with you. But I think we're going to leave it off for now. It seems to be doing better with it off. So we're at 19,000 Kelvin. It looks like it's pretty well maxed out at this point. We're making 85,000 watts. Temperature's kind of going down. Let's try the auxiliary vent, see if that changes anything. 19,000, 18, 16. Okay, that drops it a lot, so let's leave that vent closed. The hotter you have this, the more electricity you're going to be making. Spins the turbine faster. 13,000. And it'll start going back up here in a little bit, hopefully. Or it won't. You know, one of the two. Anyway, let's leave this running. Let's set up this power storage unit, set this to auto, max. Now you notice we're only making between 50 and 80,000 watts. This thing's probably good to be outputting at about 50,000 watts. I wouldn't do too much more than that unless you can get kind of a more stable way of doing this. Like I said, I'll be the first to admit, I've only done this a handful of times, so I can't guarantee that this is the best settings, but this is, through my experimentation, this is the best I've gotten so far. It definitely looks like you want to leave that auxiliary vent closed, though. So, this begins to charge, starts outputting at 50,000 watts. So, that's not quite enough electricity, but it's a good start. It'll keep everything online for at least a little while. And being an atmospheric tech, I don't have any, there's no way for me to check the power grid. So with a bit of hope, hopefully this is enough. This thing's slowing down quite a bit more than I want it to. Let's go check our settings back here, make sure that it's what we want. It's a possibility maybe we're getting too much plasma, maybe we're not getting enough, maybe too much oxygen, who knows. I have a feeling it's pumping in too much plasma though, and we may need to kind of bring down the mix a tad. Not enough plasma, actually. Interesting. So this goes to show pretty much exactly what I was talking about. You gotta have enough plasma. If you don't have enough, it's not gonna work. Let's change this to 3750. Actually, no. Let's do 3500. And let's reduce this also to 4250. And let's see what kind of mix we start getting out of that. Hopefully it's a bit more plasma. Should keep this thing going decently. Hopefully. This thing's practically sending pure oxygen at this point. Well, what can I say? It's not the most reliable method in the world. See how we're doing back here. See, I actually thought it was going to be sending too much plasma. Instead, we're just sending too much oxygen. Not enough plasma. We could supplement that, actually, with some plasma from there. Let's give that a go. Set this to 1000 kPa and turn it on. And if we did that right, that should be coming through here. Unless this is... Let's double check real quick. Let's make sure that this is actually a four-way. It is. So, whoops. So that should be going into our tank, or into this, and doing what we need it to do. Technically speaking, you could set this up for like pure plasma, send it through here, and then just, or pure oxygen rather, and then come back through and set this up so you're getting your plasma mix. Hmm. 34, 35. Okay, it's getting more temperature. 3870, 3960, 39. We're speeding back up now. So it's not an exact science. You're going to have to mess with this a bit. Like, yeah, it's definitely not an exact science. Some of you may wonder, why is there a vent pump here? Why are we not messing with it? Simple answer to that is there's no console to control it. The only way you can get that vent pump to turn on is if you have a proper computer that can control that vent pump. I don't understand the code well enough as to how this air injector is working, but somehow it's working. It's a miracle all on its own. But this this vent pump, I know, at least for me, because I've done the toxins bombs before, and this mix down here that we're getting is actually perfect for a toxin bomb. The problem is the only way to turn on this vent pump is you're going to have to build a computer that is one of those tank controlling computers from earlier, and then you have to link these two to that computer. That's how you get this to turn on. It's an absolute pain, but it is possible. You basically need one of the computers that are over here. Hold on. Yeah, you need one of these supply controls, or tank controls, mixed tank controls. I'm not really sure what they're called. You basically need one of these computers, and you set this to one radio frequency, and then you find it with this computer, and that's how it finds it. And then you'll get an output thing like this, and you'll be able to control it yourself. Hopefully that answered any questions you guys have. So it is possible for us to build something that can give us more, it can build some electricity up. It's not going to be enough to run the whole station. You can run the whole station, but you need that set up and at least 2 solars, I think I've heard. Camera, I don't think I have a... Yeah, I don't have a way to monitor the electricity from in here. Unless this one lets me. What's a station alert? Is that what I need? No? Tank monitor, let's try up here. Ah, grid power. So, actually, 50,000 watts is almost enough. It's charging everything. I haven't set up Tesla. This is the only thing we're getting. Total power, but you see total load is we're just about maxed out on load. So the best thing to do would be to set this up and then set up solars, maybe a couple of different solars, and with that you should be okay. I'm not exactly sure. No, you wouldn't, because this power that it's receiving, it's getting that also uh, from the smezes that are down in engineering. So you would need to set the turbine up in 3 solars, and you should have enough to at least charge everything. So that'll do it for this video. It's already getting a little too long. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. Thank you very much. Have a great day.